Hey, this is Rick Kaselj, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. I want to welcome you to today's video, which is 4 chair stretches for happy hips. Now, Emmanuel is going to help me go through the exercises, and before we go through the exercises, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to this channel. We have multiple videos that we release every week to help you overcome injury and pain and move and feel better. And also, if you get benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. Okay, moving on to the exercises. So the first exercise to go through is leg rotations. Okay, good. So you're having a seat. What we're utilizing here is a chair that swivels but doesn't roll. Ideally, you want a chair that doesn't move. It doesn't roll, it doesn't swivel. We have a swivel chair because it makes it a little easier to move quickly from one position to another position. But with this exercise, what Emmanuel is doing is leg rotations. So you can go one leg at a time or you can go both legs at a time. You're straightening that leg out. You're sitting nice and upright, head, shoulders, hips in a straight line. You're rotating, so keeping the legs straight, rotating at that thigh, rotating it out, rotating it in, rotating it out. So with this one, looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity. So the sets for this one would be 1. Repetitions would be 5 each way, so a total of 10. Intensity is light, and the purpose of this exercise is we're dynamically stretching the internal and external rotators of the hips. So what oftentimes happens with the hips, especially if you have poor stability in the hips or poor core activation, the internal and external rotators of the hip tighten up in order to stabilize things. So what we want to do is loosen those muscles up by dynamically stretching them. Now moving on to the second one, this is seated arches. Good, so that's 1 repetition and then going through the second repetition. Perfect. So you're having a seat, middle of the chair or a little bit more towards the front. You're sitting nice and upright, head, shoulders, hips in a straight line. Legs are underneath the hips, feet are flat. Ideally, ankle, knee, and hips are a little bit at 90. There you go. And then now, what Emmanuel is doing is bringing the arms overhead and then arching back in that mid-back and low back area, and then coming back down to the start and then moving into the next repetition. Perfect. So looking at this one, when it comes to the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets are going to be 1, repetitions are going to be 5, time's going to be smooth, controlled movement with a good stop at the end position. Intensity is light, and the purpose of this one, this exercise, is to really work on the mobility and movement in the lumbar spine. So a lot of times the lumbar spine will tighten up or have poor movement, and that puts greater stress and strain on the hips. And what we want to do is keep those hips happy. So if we loosen up that mid-back, that will help, or that low back will help with the hips being happier. Okay, now moving on to the third one. This is knee drops. Okay, so with this one, so you're like this. You're gonna drop the knee in, and you're gonna drop the knee out, in, and you're gonna drop the knee out. Okay, so it's a build on the first one that we went through, and it's a little bit more intense and targets the hip more.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Especially
good. So you can do both knees at the same time, or you can do 1 at a time. When you do 1 at a time, you can target things a lot better. Good. So dropping the knee. So sitting nice and upright, head, shoulders, hips in a straight line, and then feet are flat, dropping the knee out to the side, and then dropping it in, and then dropping it out to the side and back in. Perfect. So looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets are going to be 1, repetitions are going to be 5, so 5 each way, a total of 10. Intensity is light, and the purpose of this one is, once again, to target those internal, external rotators of the hip, loosen them up to help loosen up the hips and have the hips happy. Okay, now moving on to the fourth and final one. This is seated side bend stretch. Good, perfect. So we're sitting sideways to the chair. Then you're going to bring one leg back. Okay, you're kind of sitting, yes. Well, after your workout this morning. You're kind of sitting on the front half of the chair. The opposite hand is grabbing the back of the chair to kind of stabilize you. Then you're going to bring the arm up and you're going to side bend and you're really going to stretch right through here. Perfect. And then relax and you'd move into the next repetition. And of course you would go through it on both sides. Now looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity for this one, sets are going to be 1, repetitions are going to be 2, so alternating back and forth. Time, we want to build it up to about 10 seconds. Intensity is light, and the purpose of this one is we're really targeting that hip flexor, and we're also working on improving the movement in that spine, specifically in the thoracic spine. So there you go, give those stretches a go, those 4 chair stretches for happy hips. Now, if you have any questions for us, you can leave them down below in the comments section. If you have any other ideas when it comes to videos that you'd like us to do, please do leave them down below. If you got benefit from the video, make sure to like it, and before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That's it. This is Rick Caselge from exercisesforinjuries.com saying take care and bye-bye.